Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for connecting Rabbani Research. Our today's topic is why leaders fail, and we will talk on this subject. Let's define leader first with the picture that you are seeing. It's a coxswain who is the member of the team and who does not row but steers the boat and faces forward towards the bow. A coxswain is necessary in the first place because the rowers sit with their backs to the direction of the travel. The coxswain is responsible for coordinating the power and rhythm of the rowers. The role of coxswain in a crew is to keep the boat and rowers safe at all times, be in command of the boat at all times, provide motivation and encouragement, organize and direct the crews at all times. A cox must be positive, a good motivator, and very encouraging. Coxless boats are very dangerous. A good leader motivates. Business leaders should motivate their workforce and channel its talent into a single powerful operation. But for an overwhelming number of companies today, effective leadership is lacking. According to global HR consulting firms, DDI, less than half of the executives believe their organization's leadership quality is high. When they asked HR professionals, confidence dropped to an alarming 28%. 83% of the respondents reported significant skill gaps, while 47% predicted a gap of leadership and executive level skills. What pushed a manager to the top in the past may not connect with the next generation of the employees. Great leaders are above all innovators. There are 4 reasons leaders fail: difficulty in adapting, poor communication, unclear goals, and arrogance. What's behind this leadership disparity? One reason could be a mass exit of established employees and managers. In a survey from Pew Research Center, over half of the US adults 55 and over said they are retired. While millennials may slowly shift to more supervisory roles, their rise doesn't automatically offset the effects of the Great Resignation. When we talk about difficulty in adapting, we see cognitive flexibility that deal with information from multiple perspectives, can use interactive technology, keep constantly learning and exploring new things, and can develop their own representation of information. In terms of emotional flexibility, people are able to adapt to emotional circumstances and tolerate a change in different situations, able to adjust emotions to each situation. In terms of dispositional flexibility, they are positive minded reals, set neither blindly positive nor too pessimistic, keep cool while others are getting hot. In difficulty adapting, change is inevitable, but not every leader accepts it as such. Even the most effective operations are forced to slow down when facing the unknown or unexpected. Pushing forward without pause risks an avalanche of unintended consequences. According to Non-Profit Center for Creative Leadership, the most frequent cause for an executive's derailment is difficulty adapting to change. When we talk about poor communication, let's return to the robot analogy. Yes, the cox is dedicated to giving the other rowers direction, but this direction doesn't just pop into their head randomly. Instead, it's informed. By noticing a vulnerability of blind spot and notifying their team, the cox modifies their instruction without sacrificing speed. The value of a strong communication far outweighs the edge of an extra paddle. Though a leader might be deemed the head of the group, they are still part of it. The quality of a leader dictates the quality of a team, and vice versa. Like any collaboration, a mutual understanding must exist. Even insightful and key employees have no way of reading minds. They have to hear intentions, and employees follow leaders who are easy to understand. This is the result of a clear and open communication. In terms of unclear goals, every leader wants to do something meaningful. It could be transforming an industry, giving people the means to live better, or simply beating the competition. None of these goals are wrong, but they are not exactly right without clear strategy to accomplish them. Employees can't help reach a goal if it is unclear how it impacts them. Personal and organizational dreams are not the same, and they can't be forced into one another. No worthwhile goal is possible without considering the greater whole and shared understanding. Those on the team, including the leader, must embody them. Hard to follow objectives impact a business at every level. When employees are in the dark about why they are working, it can yield lackluster customer service, inefficiency, or conflict, attrition. With clear goals, they are constructive. Now we will talk about arrogance. Confidence is inseparable from strong leadership. They miscalculate and make mistakes. You might be an arrogant leader if you are always right and they are always wrong. You just happen to be the smartest person in any room you are in. You never ask your team about anything. You never even think you need to ask your team about anything. You might hear something like, "My manager never listened to us. We are being worked to the bone. Why are we doing these tasks? I don't think our supervisor cares for us." Remember, leading is listening. Lashing out at employees or belittling them for approaching a task differently shatters their trust. Few, if any, employees will endure toxicity from leadership for very long. If their voices are continually hushed, they will opt to be heard elsewhere. Now let's talk about 4 ways to be a better leader. Self-reflection, ask the right questions and be observant, seek feedback, establish long-term goal. Self-reflection. Self-reflection isn't always comfortable, but it's necessary to develop. The educational theorist explains experience itself doesn't spur us to grow. Rather, we learn by reflecting on what happened to us. Through meditation, journaling, or another method, trying to understand ourselves helps improve. Sometimes the best path forward comes from within. Make a habit of self-reflection as you sharpen your leadership skill. Ask the right questions and be observant. Regularly asking for advice and of course listening to it helps generate the perspective needed to overcome complex challenges. At the same time, it reminds employees their opinion matters. Everyone brings a different and valuable outlook. Effective leaders understand their perspective doesn't always account for every angle and outcome. The right questions help find by digging into what makes their teams tick. Leaders also uncover the full potential of their people. Over time, you will gather the intuition needed to understand your employees' motivation. Then you seek feedback. Gathering feedback is vital to navigate what lies ahead, provided responses are honest. Leaders can secure their own longevity. What motivates one workforce may not strike the same chord for the next. The leaders who appear to easily adapt in the face of adversity know the value of their people's minds. They know to encourage creative and unorthodox thinking and open themselves to do the same. Establish long-term goals. Leaders need to make their intentions and their ideas to fulfill them clear for everyone to understand. Employees at any level should easily see how their work contributes to their entire company. Ensuring this requires frequent communication and a clear purpose. How a long-term goal evolves needs to be apparent to everyone feeling it. If teams are aware of how operations change, it's easier for them to commit to a new way forward. And let's make conclusion now. No universal leadership style works because the needs of individuals vary. This doesn't change when they are in a group. Great leaders don't assume and command, but listen and understand. No leader is always right. They have to empathize with their team's needs and be willing to change. It's okay to celebrate victories and achievements, but that shouldn't replace feedback. Regular communication that's genuinely valued keeps confidence from sliding into arrogance. And as much as a great leader seeks advice from others, they should still make time to look inward. Each new hire represents a fresh opportunity to learn something. Normalizing conversations with employees and uncovering what motivates them helps leaders become more proactive. Talented people bring insight which every leader can benefit from. Communication also creates trust between leaders and their people. The presentation source is Forbes and Business News Daily. We are business consultants based in Pakistan. If you need to accelerate your organizational performance and transform your company to meet the upcoming business challenges for a better tomorrow, please contact us for a turnaround. You can find us at rabbaniresearch.net. Thank you so much.